turbulent world full of uncertainty. Actually, no one can claim to have all the answers. So apart from values that provide that anchor for us in terms of how we should make decisions, there's also this thing about where no one can claim to have all the answers either. So I think that's where humility comes in. We need to learn from other people, even our our reports. Yeah, we got to learn from them and then make that leadership call, right, as to which direction we should head, and then rally everyone to that common purpose or vision.
That's a very interesting point that you mentioned about leaders, even in difficult times, uncertainty, being humble. And yeah, we get that philosophy about humble leadership, servant leadership, but there's a little bit more that you mentioned, that leaders may not even know or have the answers in difficult times. Could you just elaborate just a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think, as you alluded to, the pandemic was a fantastic illustration of that. Going into the crisis, we have absolutely no idea what to expect, right? And it seemed that things were happening almost on a daily basis and hitting us from all directions. And government rules were also, safe measures and all that were being implemented almost on a daily basis, right? Fresh rules. Mm-hmm. So I think I'll be surprised if there was any leader who felt that they were in control of the situation. We were mostly overwhelmed with what's going on and didn't know what tomorrow would hold. So one of the things, for example, that the association did was to organize webinars and bring on people from some of the larger organizations, because we found out that actually big organizations, quite a few of them, had from early January of 2020 already put in place or had already articulated internally certain scenarios relating to the pandemic. And they were more prepared than the smaller organizations because of that scenario planning. So we brought on some of these leaders from the big organizations to share with everyone in the community what they were doing to cope with the situation, but also what they thought would be around the corner. So I think that's really, illustrates this point about where we can't know everything as leaders, and sometimes we do need to tap into the wider resources and the wider community for those insights.